d'être avec nous. Je sais que tu attends beaucoup de demain parce qu'il y a quasiment tout le monde, c'est un mini championnat du monde. Hein.
J'attends déjà de moi-même de voir si ce stage a porté ses fruits. Je vais sûrement être dans des jours peut-être de récupération de ce gros stage que j'ai fait. Mais néanmoins, je pense que les semaines qui vont arriver vont être crescendo pour moi. Je pense que les chronos vont descendre petit à petit. Et surtout, tout à l'heure, on parlait de la grosse start list qui était là. C'est étonnant parce que comme les
c'est des garçons que tu n'as
monde...
pas rencontrés encore,
Mais non,
Holloway et Daniel.
je l'ai rencontré une seule fois. Et c'est quand j'ai eu mes premiers symptômes, donc quand je n'arrivais pas vraiment à me battre et à courir vite. J'ai jamais couru contre Roberts. Et Ortega et Shubenkov, ils sont toujours tonitruants à chaque meeting. Mais en ayant les championnats du monde tard, ça a fait qu'il y a eu des gros résultats en début de saison. Il y a eu un petit trou.
Un creux, oui.
Et ben moi, c'est cette période-là où j'ai pas pu m'entraîner finalement, et où moi, c'est cette période-là sur laquelle je compte pour monter crescendo. Donc finalement, je pense pas réellement que toute cette période mauvaise de blessures et de maladies de début de saison que j'ai eue va m'impacter pour les championnats du monde. Et c'est très bien que j'ai une grosse course demain. Très bien.
I'm happy to have a great race tomorrow. I mean, well, it's a great field that we have at the start of the 110 hurdles tomorrow, and I look forward for that race because if you look at the season, it has been a very good peak of a season for everybody around June, and then like a little hole for almost everyone, and for me especially because of the sickness. And now since then, I've been working on. So I look forward for having a good race tomorrow because I will go on and more positive and forward to the World Championships. Do you think you will be at the same level as the 4 best in the world?
Je répondrai que je n'ai peur de personne.
I fear no one.
Moi, Marc, je vais te répondre aussi que on ne sait pas trop parce que Shubenkov, il n'a pas couru depuis Rabat.
Shubenkov is coming back. We don't know.
Les deux, ils ont couru bien, mais il y a longtemps quand même.
Holloway and Roberts, they run well, but long time ago.
En fait, c'est une course qui est très ouverte et qui et je pense que personne ne sait vraiment à quel niveau de forme il en est. Et le fait d'avoir Doha qui est si tard dans la saison, au mois d'octobre, fait qu'on ne sait pas s'ils ont coupé un peu. Tu vois, ça va être le cas de Noah Lyles. Enfin, il y a beaucoup. C'est un meeting étrange au niveau du moment où il arrive dans la saison. Et donc, on verra les perfs. Il sera intéressant pour ça, d'ailleurs, parce qu'il donnera des indications pour Doha.
It's not an easy question because we don't know what we can expect. Some guys may have cut a little bit short on their training, or because Doha is so late in the season. So we don't know. It will be a very, very interesting race. But 12:98 already. I mean, since the beginning, it was 7th of June, right? Was it? Yes. Yeah. Your PB. Did you expected that?
Yeah, I mean, we put the work in from indoor to outdoor. I think it's more so at the right time. We were going to make sure that everything was good and was healthy at the NCAA meet, and then even indoors. Daniel helped me to run, American record, and then also helped me to run 12:98. 13 flat. Any other year would have been another incredible time at NCAAs, but I had a good friend next to me who pushed me all the way through, and even going forward, even at USA's, I gave him a good push so he could win. So I think it's just one of the things that we know what we're going to get out of each other each race. It's just more so, like I said at the beginning, who's going to execute better and who's going to have a cleaner race to get the win.
Well, you did a lot of progress also last winter, and it shows that now you're in the professional world, and it starts pretty well for a career.
Yeah, like you said, it's just the whole year we've been competing literally since indoor, like you said, and we've just been pushing each other. Like going into the season, like it was always the goal to run this fast, but to see it happening is really just a blessing. And then to transfer into the professional world, it's a shock a little bit, but we're getting in there, so it's exciting for sure.
Journalists don't know you pretty well, so they want you to summarize your coming into track and field. How do you get into track and field? Yes, quickly the meeting of your coach. You stay with the same coach, and can you summarize your short career before being professional? Yes, well, starting like you were starting the injury. Starting the injury. Yes, okay. You were in college. You were in college. Yeah.
Okay.
Start when Flo left.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in college, all right, I started off in college. I had Coach Flo, Edric Florio. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but I had him. And then 2 years in college, he left. And then this past year is when I got my new coach, Coach Tim Hall. So, yeah, and then it's just this past season's been great. So,
How many times you were with him in college? In college.
how many times?
Yeah. How many years?
2 years with Coach Flo, and then this past year is my first year with
Okay.
Coach Hall.
Can you summarize your when you were a kid? How did you come to track and field?
Yeah, long story short, I was originally going to play American football, but I decided to give that up to run track. And Coach
When was that?
2016.
Okay.
2016, I decided to give up American football. And then from there, Coach Mike Holloway, my head coach now, gave me a chance at the University of Florida. So took that chance, ran with it as long as I could. 3 years at University of Florida with him.
Yes.
Came out.
But you did everything, not only hurdles.
Yeah,
You did a lot of events, huh?
yeah, name
Yeah.
it, and I probably did it.
Yeah.
400 and lower. No pole vault.
400 and lower.
Yeah,
right.
but other from there, it was a great ride, and I'm blessed to have amazing coaches in my life. Not just Coach Holloway, from Coach Welty to Coach Peterson to Coach Mann, everybody at the University of Florida, Coach Lemke as well.
Okay.
It was a great process, and then from there, that's all she wrote.
I just-
Heard that you were training with Omar McLeod at Kentucky. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I'm not. Oh,
with Omar. Non. Oui, j'ai entendu que tu t'entraînais avec Omar à l'université du Kentucky. Est-ce que tu peux en parler?
I'm not training with him right now. He's not there anymore, but he was my sophomore year. So last year he was there, and it was great. It was a great experience just to get out there because he's still the reigning Olympic champion. So it was great just to get how his mental and how he goes into practice and just getting that competition every day. So it was great.
Je l'avais en sophomore year, mais l'année dernière, pas cette année. Et c'est quelqu'un de très très bien. Et c'est bien de pouvoir avoir côtoyé ce garçon parce que, bien entendu, il est champion olympique et ça permet d'avoir un état d'esprit intéressant quand on veut devenir professionnel.
Just to follow
Yeah.
up to that, I'm curious if there was anything specific that you feel you learned from him, that you look at your
Est-ce que-
ability now and you say,
Tu as appris quelque chose de ce qu'il disait?
Definitely just my aggression, hurdling,
Right.
because that's one thing that I feel like he's really aggressive. He's a very powerful athlete, very fast, and I felt like I was fast, but I wasn't really using it when I was hurdling. So that's definitely something I got from him.
Oui,
Why did you decide not to do American football? Because I know you were pretty good at that as well.
je sais que tu
made
étais
you?
bon au football. Pourquoi tu as décidé de quitter le football?
Because I wanted to walk when I was 30.
With the World Championship so late this season, how did you prepare? Because you are used to be strong in April, May.
Ah oui, la saison a commencé très tôt chez vous aux États-Unis, notamment avec les compétitions universitaires, avec les championnats du monde. Comment tu t'es préparé?
World Championships are in October, but I have the mindset that everybody has to compete, and in October it's not just going to affect me; it's going to affect everybody in the world. So I'm going to trust my
But you
training.
had two peaks in the season. That's what she's asking.
Yeah.
One at the beginning of the season, the second will be in Doha.
Yeah, I was gonna get there, but it was it was just a point.
I'm quicker.
It was just a point where I'm gonna trust my coaching, trust my training, and just from there it's just I was able to peak at NCAA's, and I'm sure I'll be able to peak again in October.
Feel great. Non, c'est pas mal. J'ai une forme plus que respectable, donc on va essayer de perdurer ce que j'ai fait à l'entraînement pendant les mois qui précèdent. Je dis pas les semaines, je dis vraiment les mois parce que c'est vraiment une année où tout s'est bien passé pour moi pour l'instant à l'entraînement.
Oui, parce que c'était pas le cas. We'll translate. C'était pas le cas. Peut-être les saisons d'avant, il y avait eu plus de coupures parfois, plus peut-être aussi de blessures et de coups d'arrêt. Il y avait eu il y a 3 ans une saison à peu près pleine, mais là depuis un petit moment, ça fait un moment que tu n'avais pas eu une saison aussi pleine que ça. En tout cas au niveau de la préparation, puisque tu l'as programmée tard, hein, bien entendu.
Ouais, c'est clair. Bon, ça faisait des années effectivement que j'avais pas eu une année complète avec tous les cycles d'entraînement.
En plus, dès que je croise un jeune et que qu'on me demande des conseils et tout, je dis ouais, le plus important c'est de s'entraîner tout le long de l'année sans blessure. Le mec, c'est le pire mec pour donner ce conseil parce que je crois que je suis le mec le moins régulier depuis ces dernières années, mais cette année c'est plutôt bien déroulé en tout cas.
I had a good time of training this year because the last years were not that easy with some injuries. Couldn't train regularly 2 years ago, last year. This year, well, I was lucky. I had a very good session of trainings, and if I look at what I did the last month, well, I'm looking forward to the next competition, to this one. C'est bien entendu.
It wasn't luck. Je reviens juste sur ce que tu viens de dire. C'était pas de la chance. Je parlais simplement du fait de plus se blesser. Je pense que j'ai travaillé un peu
la gestion,
toutes les gestions émotionnelles et physiques, la diététique, des choses comme ça en fait, et donc qui finissent par payer en fin de compte.
It was not only luck, because what I want to be precise, it was also that I've been working on emotions, working on, of course, physical, but also the diets. Everything was very, very precise and kept me safe from injuries, so I could train pretty well. Le but du jeu, justement, c'est d'avoir des courses, je le disais, rapides. Ces courses rapides, elles t'ont un petit peu manqué cette année. Tu étais un peu frustré pour l'instant de ça?
Non, je ne suis pas frustré. Je monte en puissance. Le plus important, je l'ai compris grâce à ce titre à Londres qui m'avait moi-même surpris, c'est tout simplement, il n'y a pas besoin d'énormément de courses avant un championnat pour arriver en forme au bon moment. Et ça peut même créer l'effet de surprise avec des adversaires qui sont redoutables et qui me connaissent par cœur, au moins autant que je les connais. Et donc du coup, voilà, c'est aussi du poker, l'athlétisme. Je l'ai compris petit à petit. Et plus les années passent, plus je n'ai pas besoin de me montrer autant qu'avant, en tout cas, de me prouver à moi-même que je suis capable de faire certaines performances et tout. C'est pour ça d'ailleurs que je manque la plupart de mes meetings en Diamond League, en tout cas.
I'm not frustrated not to run fast, because what I learned from the World Championship title is that it's no need to run fast to be world champion. Then you have no need before to run fast to be world champion, because what's important is also that it's not important to prove myself what is my value in track, but to do it the day of the championships. This is more important towards the others. Surprise can also be very, very interesting, because everybody has his own way of preparing, so it's no need to be fast before that, but to be ready at the World Championships. C'est le but. In Monaco, you were missing 80 meters from the race, but if you look at tomorrow, you said you're unpredictable, but can you predict the time?
Alors en l'occurrence, Monaco, c'était peut-être un manque de chance. Ou alors je suis vraiment idiot de m'être dit ça ne courra pas aussi vite qu'à Lausanne la semaine passée. Alors que si, tous les ans à Monaco, dans toutes les courses de demi-fond, ça court très vite. Donc voilà, j'ai quand même pris un gros risque de me dire que j'allais faire Monaco dès ma rentrée. Mais bon, je pensais avoir une meilleure forme que j'ai montrée. C'est pas très important en l'occurrence. L'important pour moi, c'est de développer, c'est de débloquer des secteurs en fait, et la compétition, et faire ce qui m'est arrivé à Monaco, c'est-à-dire être pendant 25 minutes dans la même position sans pouvoir bouger. Ça, derrière, ça débloque 2-3 paliers que, voilà, pour moi, ça équivaut à 2 semaines ou 3 semaines d'entraînement en fait, en une seule émotion physique.
If you look at a Monaco race, maybe I thought that the race will be not that fast, but in Monaco it's always fast. So was maybe a bad decision for myself, but it was very interesting, because in one race I went to 2 weeks of training on that one race. It was pretty interesting for me, because it was like skipping some steps from my trainings, and that was very, very interesting.
You mentioned that you've changed a few things to avoid injuries, and you mentioned diet, for example, but can you give us a bit more detail? What other stuff have you improved?
Yep.
Là où tu avais progressé sur le régime.
My main issues were the bottom of my eye stream, right there, just right there, on the bottom of the glute. And I've been I have this pain for like 3 or 4 years. I think it's 2014, I think, and nobody was capable to just make me avoid this kind of shit during the season, just on the preseason mostly. And then when I tell you everybody, I really mean it. And I realized this year, by luck, that not only the eccentric but the concentric as well was working on the hamstring, and that's it. That's just an example of it. But if you just call the coaches, the physios in France at least, and in Europe, they will tell you that to perform the hamstring for the training of any sport, they will use eccentric only for the hamstring. That's not true. That's just what I discovered this year, and since that day, it worked, and I'm not in pain anymore.
Meets have you done in Paris, Sam? You remember?
If you would count, in 2015 in Paris, I jumped in Stade Louis and Charlotte at Decanations.
Yes.
And this would be my 10th competition in
Ma
Paris.
10e compétition est ici à Paris. Donc j'en ai fait quelques-unes. Do you like to come back here?
Paris has been very kind to me, and so much opportunity is amazing for us. Usually I am at being hosted by Renault when I'm here in France, and so it's always an exciting journey, and every time I get the invitation, I come back. There's always something new to be expected.
Oui, il y a toujours.
I have been known to jump well here in Paris, and Renault and I have had trading victories every time we have come here. I think it's been by the skin of my teeth when I have won, and then by just the adulation of the crowd when he has won. So it's been pretty amazing. If I could write a book with all the crazy cool stuff that's happened on tracks here in Paris.
Would you try tomorrow 18 steps or on your runaway?
Ça fait partie du plan, mais après, comme il y a 2 semaines à Bidgoss, si les conditions ne le permettent pas, je ne vais pas prendre de risque pour absolument tenter. Mais normalement, oui, l'objectif c'est de mettre 18 pour trouver un peu plus de puissance et de vitesse, et du coup un peu plus de hauteur à la fin des sauts. Donc on aura le verdict demain soir.
That's the plan. That's the plan to put more power and speed at the end and to have a better chance for big jumps. If we look at two weeks ago in Bidgoss, I had to change my plans because the weather was not good. But here, I'm sure I can do that.
Saw Sam clear 6:06 at the US Championships. Honestly, what did you think?
Qu'est-ce que tu as pensé quand il a fait 6:06? He likes that.
Well, honestly, I knew that he got this performance in his mind since many times. So first he was 6:05, and then since Mondo jumped 6:05, his mind was set on 6:06. So I was not totally surprised, even if I know that it could be hard for him because his jump is quite special, and he don't have to lose any centimeters high or front or behind. But no, I mean, he was very consistent, so he was able to do it. But honestly, we have to say that he has been a little bit lucky with the bar, because as he say, the first jump he missed was closest than the next one. But I mean, the bar stay, and it's that's the rule. So no, it's good, and he keep pushing the pressure on everyone with his jumps, which is good for our sports.
I asked him a question yesterday, and also to Jeff. Can he do the world record? And he said, no, we don't think about it that much. But what can you think? What do you think, or no?
Le truc, c'est que si on remonte un peu en arrière, c'est un peu ce qui s'est passé un petit peu avec moi il y a plus de 10 ans. Sam est en train de montrer aussi un peu la même chose. Quand il a fait 5,80, on s'est dit ouais, il saute un peu bizarrement. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ce mec, et puis progressivement, il a passé des étapes, et jusqu'à ce qu'il passe déjà à la barre des 6 mètres, ce qui on s'y attendait à moitié. Et derrière, après, là, les 6,06 qu'il vient de faire montrent qu'il a encore passé un petit cap, même si c'est quelques centimètres. On sait que c'est très important. Donc après, certes il reste encore plus de 10 cm à aller chercher, donc je sais à quel point c'est dur d'aller chercher ces derniers centimètres, mais je dirais tout de suite, en étant honnête, je pense pas qu'il ait assez de marge pour pouvoir y aller, mais après il peut en surprendre plus d'un, dont moi. Donc je pense qu'il faut jamais ne pas y croire jusqu'à ce que ce soit fini. Donc voilà, on ne sait jamais. Peut-être que le jour où il aura décidé de le battre, peut-être qu'il y arrivera. On verra quoi.
If you look 10 years ago, they were saying the same thing about me, and didn't think I could break it, but I made different levels and I broke it. When we saw him jumping 580, we said, "Oh, what is that guy? Special technique." Well, but he jumped. It was coming, and then he did different levels, 6 meters. Now it's 606, another level. So well, he can think about it. He can. I don't know if that he will do it. I'm not sure, but if he thinks about it same way, he can improve. It's another 10 centimeters. I mean, you just have to have another level, but he can surprise a lot of people, even me. So I'm sure he can do it.
Question to Sam. Sam, on behalf of statisticians, thank you for clearing up the confusion about the US record, because it would have been quite difficult to explain why a Swede was holding the record until you did the 606. So what did you think of that decision to make Duplantis the American record holder?
Well, I will give you as a fine way of asking that question. My friend Mondo, he grew up in Louisiana. His mother is from Sweden, and he has dual citizenship. And by our rules, he's an American boy, and I'm not going to fault him for that. You know, that's not his fault that he did this amazing thing and that they crowned him the American record holder. He deserved it, and by our rules, it was his. Even if I would never have jumped 606, it would have been okay. And everybody would have respected the fact that an American, in some capacity, held it. We have since changed the rule. At the ponderings of me and Jeff, we kind of put together the exact scenario that would be so amazingly crazy that Mondo might do the American record in a meet that Americans were not even privy to, the European Championships. And I can tell you earnestly that I was so excited when he did it. But it was an odd set of circumstances. And I can tell you that the first person to congratulate me on jumping 606 was Mondo. And that was really special. But in my heart, he's a Louisiana boy. He lives right down the highway from me. I know his heart and his uniform is from Sweden. So I'm not going to say that the rules were bad. They were good. It's just the way it was.
73. I like it. Was it? You were thrilled with that performance at the Jamaican Championships? Yeah, was it?
Coming after injury was like a big stress, and to find back my groove at my national trials, it was a overwhelmed and a big relief for me. And it's stressful. Last year I didn't get to do as I wanted, to be on the top and to go back in the middle. It was stressful, but to be a champion I have to expect those things, and it's a part of the package. So I have to just continue to motivate myself and to just get in those races. When I came back from Rome, I ran at 10:89. I think that boosts me to get more confident going to national trials. So being at that line, honestly, I was super nervous because I didn't know where I was. I didn't know what time to expect. All I was saying top 3 and then take it there to World Championship. Eventually get a series best and a world lead, but after just continue to work hard to get the races in and to just get my preparation going to the World Championships.
Everything was positive, yeah.
Yes.
A question for Elaine. In view of your injury, the situation you've described, was it a difficult decision for you to decide to do the double in Doha? And for Noah, was it a difficult decision for you to decide not to do the double in Doha?
Est-ce que ça a été une décision difficile de vouloir doubler à Doha, ou est-ce que ça a été une décision difficile de ne pas vouloir le faire?
Well, my decision was with both myself and my coach, and because I haven't done so much of the last 2 years, so we had decided to double this year, and this will bring us more into 2020 for the Olympics. So it prepares me, this World Championship would also prepares me for my next double 2020.
So you're in mind to double in 2020 in Tokyo?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. Voilà, c'est effectivement quelque chose avec le coach. On a pris la décision justement de se dire que, comme je ne l'avais pas fait ces dernières saisons et comme ça se passait un petit peu mieux, de doubler, mais dans la perspective de le faire pour aussi les Jeux Olympiques de 2020 à Tokyo. Oh, yeah.
I forgot I had to say something.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't a hard decision. It was the decision we made when we first started the season, and it was the one we stuck to. We have big plans for Doha, plan to win, and practice is going really well, and it's been progressing as the year is going. So at this point, my eyes were setting on all times.
Noah, I saw you set that world record or world best, as they called it, for 300 in Albuquerque a couple of years back. You got any plans one day to
No.
dip your toe in at 400?
No.
Thank you.
Yeah, you have.
One more,
Yeah, you
one more
have.
question. Thank you, Tim.
If it's about the 400 now.
C'était un record à 300, aux 300 mètres à Albuquerque. Qu'est-ce que tu penses monter sur 400 mètres? Et il a répondu avant qu'il lui pose la question, il a répondu non. No, it's hard. 400. You tried?
I like to not feel pain.
Yes. No, just for strength. But not in competition.
But please don't take this the wrong way. We all really love seeing you compete on the track, but we also love how you handle yourself between races. Your interviews are always really entertaining. We like looking at you and the way you respond to questions. It's a breath of fresh air. I'm just wondering, is that you? Is that you just being you? Or is that part of you that likes to put on a show once a camera's in front of you or once a microphone's under your nose?
Je voudrais savoir, on adore te voir justement après les courses, on adore voir comment tu es, mais est-ce que c'est vraiment toi? Est-ce que c'est quelque chose que tu as en toi? Do you have a mask? That's the
I think
question.
we all wear masks in some type of way, but I think it's more of how much of the mask is showing. A lot of it is me. There's a strong part of it that's me, but I've also gone through a lot of media training. I've done things that have to do with social media just to kind of show what I want to show. So as much as I do show people, hey, this is me, and if you like it, I'm glad you like it. You can follow me. That's cool. There are definitely sides of me that I don't show, and I think that's more like what being a professional kind of is, showing the parts that people want to see, that they enjoy, and of course, just being you with it. Because the day that you're not really being you, people start to suspect stuff.
I believe we can be the premier event, the event to watch, and it's very encouraging. It's very exciting as a competitor, but also to step back and also be a spectator, because I do love to watch the triple jump.
This is what you did at the trials. You were a spectator.
Yeah, exactly. I was really trying to get these guys pumped up and motivated, and to watch them down in Lima, to see Omar Craddock, the other Florida brother, down there. He really carried that torch, and now we're reunited again.
For sure. I feel like we all bring the best out of each other, and these are things and situations that we've had before even the Diamond League at practice. The same way we compete at the Diamond League at practice at Florida. When we were in college, these are the situations that we were in. So, we've just kind of just taken it to another level now, and everyone's able to witness, what we did, back then, and now it's coming to fruition, and I think even Omar is on a level to push 18 meters, and I think that'll be something special for us. All three Florida Gators, all of us from one university.
All three of you were the Gators.
University
Florida
together,
University.
we all went to school together, so I think it's special, and I think it's like, I don't know if you have a brother, but
I have a sister.
Okay, you have a sister, but it's like a brotherly competition.
Right.
You never want to lose to your brother, and they bring the best out of you. So I think that's what we have, and it's special. I think it's a special time for the triple jump. I think we're doing something that's never been done before. This is probably the best era of the triple jump on the men and the women's side. So I think we just want to relish in that, and we want to keep going. We're still young. We want to just keep taking it to another level.
Calentar un poco lo que va a ser el salto triple y que mañana, tanto como las hembras y en los varones, se dé un buen espectáculo y salgan unas marcas excelentes.
I'm going to pump up this competition for you guys, make a great show, and also make a good performance like this, warm up the whole area there for you to be performing. So this is something also that you think you're capable of, guys, for the world record? Because it's far and not far at the same time. If you take your 18-14, if you take your PB, Christian, the world record of the Brits, the goéland, the flyer. So it's not far.
No, it's attainable. It's definitely attainable. And like I've always said, it's just going to come down to that execution that we have on that specific day. And it's something that we want to break that barrier. And I think we're not even looking at personally, I'm not looking at Jonathan Edwards' barrier. I feel like that's as far as he went. I don't know how far I could go. I feel like, my goal is to jump a lot further than that. I had to shoot for the stars. As an athlete, as a competitor, as a man, that's what I have to do. If I didn't, I would never accomplish it. So for me, I'm shooting way past that, and hopefully I fall somewhere in that area.
So I have to hit the first comment. It is far.
D'abord, je dois dire, c'est loin.
Even with the personal best, it's far because, this is why it stood for so long. So it is a great feat. I think she has an unbelievably great chance of getting it. To see these jumps in Lima, it's incredible.
Yeah.
It's there, and so I'm really excited to see this, honestly. But as Will said, we would not be here if we did not believe we could achieve this number. Jonathan himself has actually surpassed the 1829, so it is possible. Unfortunately, with the wins, with
1843
exactly. But to say 29 is it? It's not, because he's done further. So of course we have a lot of respect for that, but we are here to challenge that. We are here because we believe we have the ability to go beyond. And so different mindset, special day. Just wait for it.
When you jumped over 1814 UPB, did you realize during the jump or even after that you had joined another level?
I actually didn't know. I didn't know even after the jump. I felt like it was a good jump. Even if you were to ask my coach, I just left the whole runway.
You didn't look at the mark?
I didn't look at the mark. I just felt good, and I thought it may be 1780, 1790. And then I'm putting my clothes on, and my coach was like, "Do you know what you jumped?" I was like, "No." He's like, "You jumped 1814." And I was like, "Oh, wow, so should I keep going?" Because it was my second jump. Yeah. And he was like, "Yeah, if you want." Because in my head at that point now, I'm like, it felt so easy. Yeah. Now maybe I give it a little bit more effort, I'll go further. And I fouled all the rest. Fouled all the rest of the jumps. But for me, it was just a day. Obviously, all of these meets are preparation for World Championships. So for me, it was just another day of practice. I just felt like I was able to do it in front of other people. And so I wasn't really looking to jump that far. It just kind of showed the shape that I'm in and the work that we were putting in from the off season. And it kind of just gave me a sense of confidence in my training and just letting me know exactly where I was at. And I knew that I still could build on top of that, going into Doha.
Most of the time, we ask you questions about yourselves, about you, because no better person to know yourself. But Mark is asking you to describe the qualities of Will, and Will describe Christian's. How do you see each other? Which is maybe something different. It's a good. With the notion of experience and the way that you know each other since a long time.
It's really special because it is probably the most frustrating thing with the sport. Like, he just does not go away, and it's like he said, it is like a brotherhood. Like it. No matter what, like he's always going to be there.
He's still there.
Yeah. You're like, okay, maybe he's done, and now I can
you be alone.
Yeah. But he's like, no. And then Omar came also, and it's like, okay, we're just going to be here together. But yeah, when it comes to, again, we've done weight training together, we've done sand training together, stadiums together. It's really through the trenches, through the highs and lows. To see him jump through my lens, we're very different jumpers. Will is extremely explosive. So whether it's the running, whether it's contact time, It's the phases. For me, it's like a rabbit. It's really on and off the ground extremely quickly. Every contact is very short and actually quite powerful. And so I think to have this combo is very dangerous. The only person that I saw jumping very similar with the contact time and power, it was Teddy. Teddy is very strong and was very short time on the ground. And so, of course, the running styles and everything are different, but when it just comes to this element, this is something they're very similar with. And yeah, it's no short to see how far Teddy went with that. But then one of our greatest strengths is that last phase. This is really, I think, what the crowd enjoys, but this is the scariest part for me, because when he, hits the step and is now in the long jump, he's a very, very dangerous long jumper. And so I know, I just sometimes hope he just bails out of it, because it's going to be big.
On his second step, already.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he can be in good position, but I have to hope, please bail out. Please get a headwind or something like this, because he's a long jumper. He can jump very, very far. And then I see him sometimes getting upset with himself because he came out of it too early. If he just held on just a little bit more, it's over, And so it's so exciting to watch, because I said I am really a fan of the event. I'm a fan of Will and Omar and Rohits for sure. But it's also very frustrating, because every competition you don't know what's going to happen.
Christian Taylor. He's one of the most competitive people that I've ever met in my whole life. Any athlete, any person, he's one of the most competitive. And like he said, it's frustrating, because there's been so many.
He's still there.
He's still there. Yeah, he's still there. There's so many times where it's like, all right, I go down, I jump, and I'm like, all right, yeah, done. And Christian comes and he'll jump 1 centimeter past me. And then it's like we just go back and forth. And it's frustrating, because it's like, dang, this dude's really not going away. And it's something that those times when I take second, it keeps me up at night. It really is frustrating. And Christian is one of the most he's one of the most competitive. He's a jokester. He likes to joke. He likes to play around a lot. We were in college together, so even besides track, he just likes to joke around, be sarcastic and stuff like that.
Positively sarcastic. No.
Positively sarcastic. Yeah. In a good way. Yeah.
He's not negative. Yeah.
No. In a joking way, and I think he gets it from his dad. His dad's the same way. But Christian is a very powerful person, powerful athlete. I remember the first day that we jumped at practice, and I was sitting on the bench as he was jumping, and he hit the ground, and the bench I was sitting on, it kind of shook, and I'm like
an earthquake.
Yeah, I was like, oh shoot, like he's putting so much force into the ground, and and he just flew from there, and I was like, wow, I know, like that's something that I don't have that type of power. It's as he said, we're different jumpers. And then one day we were in the weight room. He had like 375 pounds on the cleaning. And like everyone in the weight room stopped. Like we were like, we had to watch this, because I'm like, Christian, he's not about to. The throwers are lifting this. This is what the throwers are lifting. I'm like, he's not gonna lift this. And he did it like 3 times. I was like, oh, wow. Like, yeah, this dude is so powerful. And it was just something that I always admired. Like, man, this guy is so powerful and strong. And I see why. Just from seeing how he works, I see why he jumps for. And it's always been great to watch. As, me as a student, I watch Christian. I watch his jumps all the time. I watch film on Christian, Teddy, all of these guys. And Christian is one of a kind. He's definitely one of the fastest jumpers to ever, to do it. You see his times in the 400, you see his times in the 200, all these, different things that he can do. He's one of the most versatile athletes that I've ever met as well. There's not too many people. There's not anyone that you've ever seen run that fast in the 400 and jump that far in the triple jump. And he can long jump too, but he just doesn't want to. But yeah, man, he's just, I think it's been a blessing to have him you know, as a competitor through the ranks. And I don't think we would be jumping as far as we are without each other throughout the ranks. So it's been a blessing.
When you broke the world record, you had the same score on the day one as day two, which was very exciting for statisticians. But I wondered, was that because you take care to make sure that all your events are at a similar level?
Ah oui, alors...
Vas-y, je peux répondre.
Oui, vas-y.
That wasn't on purpose. I did that. It was very amazing to see that after. I'd like to say a good decathlete is a guy who is good at every event, but not perfect on one event and have some difficulties for the others. So yes, I try to train in all the events, even if I let the 1500 on the side, because you know, when you train for it, this is not good for the other events, so you have to make the balance. And yeah, to respond to your question, the big thing to be a good decathlete is to have no bad event, and this is what I try to do, and I think I did it, and now I try to be better in each event every year, gain some seconds, some centimeters. Un dernier truc, je vais profiter qu'il n'y ait plus de questions pour finir sur cette idée du triathlon. C'est quelque chose qui me tient à cœur depuis très très longtemps. Donc j'aimerais quand même approfondir un petit peu. Nous, les décathloniens, ne pouvons pas faire beaucoup de décathlons dans l'année, mais nous devons travailler. Et nous travaillons dans des petites compétitions parce que nous n'avons pas le niveau d'être dans les meilleures compétitions internationales dans chaque épreuve, bien sûr. Et le fait d'avoir des triathlons comme ça, avec les conditions d'un grand championnat, avec le public, les bonnes conditions de piste, etc., ça nous permettrait d'être beaucoup plus performants en fait en championnat. Donc je fais ça pour la performance, pour notre sport, pour qu'il évolue le plus rapidement possible.
Talking about the triathlon and in Diamond League, usually we don't do many decathlon a year. We work in different competitions to improve each event. But most of the time we're in small competitions. Why I'm doing this is because I'd like to have the same atmosphere as a world champion, as a great championships, as a major championship, and that's why if we're together with other athletes, we'll do the same thing, and we are working also on our event in great conditions, in the best conditions. So that's the idea of improvements also for my discipline. What a season you've done so far. Each race you improved, and you improved so much. First of all, what was the feeling when you broke the European record? Because we are very interested, because you know that the former European
it was a
record
French record.
Was
Yeah,
a French record, yes. So what was the first feeling?
Of course, it was very, very fun, and the most what can I say, cool thing was that I did it on home soil. I did it in Oslo during the Bislett Games, and of course that is for me extra special, because that is where I train a lot, and to take the record there was just brilliant. And also Stéphane Diaganat was very much a gentleman. He sent me a message afterwards, and we texted a bit, and he seemed very happy that I take this, but I don't know. You probably know him.
Frankly, he was.
He was?
Yes.
Yeah.
Frankly, was.
You know, that's the thing about records. You can lend them for a while, and after a time you have to pass them on. And he was a true gentleman.
Records are made to be beaten, so you know that. And
that's what it is. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Wait, the last two races were really fast. I know you've been having a special program of training because the World Championships are so late this year. How did you manage to keep the shape?
We've just been trying to be smart and not compete
all the time
as much as we did last year, because we want to train some in between, and also I want to perform at my best when I step onto the track, and and I actually like that method a lot. So this year has also given me the experience that maybe in the future I will probably compete less and compete very good when I first do it. So I actually learned a lot from this experience, and hopefully I will keep my shape all the way until the World Championships.
You were missed in Sandnes. You got us. We had some news for the European Team Championships that you were unwell, I think. Are you okay now? Was that a passing thing? What happened there?
Il y avait des petites blessures à la Coupe d'Europe en Suède. Comment tu te sens?
I actually have some pictures. You want to see? No? No? I think I ate some bad food. So I had a couple of days out and started to train very, very calmly and getting into shape again. So, you know, I found my match weight. I went down a couple of kilograms, and now it's easier for me to run a lap.
Technically, what we see is like you're very good on the hurdle, and also this is something maybe difficult to improve because you already have a good technique. You work on maybe something specific on that.
Of course I do. I always work on the whole race. To be honest, you know, it's very important for me to gain a good technique or an efficient technique. You know, I don't care how it looks. I just want it to be fast. Yes. I want to find something that fits to me and what feels natural for me. And I think we did a lot of progress there. I passed the hurdles faster. I run faster. I run better at the end, so it's starting to become something. Maybe I can be professional once.
Hi, you did combined events before. When did you start to stop combined events to focus on 400 meters, and why? What was in your mind this time?
Tu as fait des épreuves combinées. Quand est-ce que tu as commencé à lâcher les épreuves combinées pour faire du 400 mètres haies? Et pourquoi?
Oui. My last competition with the decathlon was in the under 23 championships in 2015 actually, and when I moved to Oslo after that, I finished high school, and moved to Oslo, started training with the young man over there, and Rio came in 2016, and I wanted to compete there, but I was just recently done with the junior tools in the decathlon, and the transition was actually really hard, and it took a lot of time, and at that time I also went to school, so coach actually he came with a proposal that we should try the 400 meter hurdles, and for me I wasn't too sure, but I gave it a chance, and is it allowed to say rest is history?
It works.
Yeah.
What is the overall level of your event, the 400 hurdles in the world, with you, but not only Samba and Benjamin? Some people are talking again about that very old world record. What do you think yourself about it? Is it in your mind somewhere?
Est-ce que c'est dans ta tête ce record du monde?
You know, people have been talking about that record for 2 years now. Very much, and it hasn't happened yet. So I feel like it's almost bad luck to go around and talk about it. But of course, the level is there, absolutely for most guys. But at the same time, it's a very, very good record, and there is no, what can I say? There's no automatics in that record going down. Maybe not even in our careers, you know, because things can happen, and that's sports. And the record has been standing now for 27 years or something, so it's a very good record. But at the same time, I understand people are like to think about it. But for me, I try to, every time I think about it, I say stop. Don't do that. You don't need that. So I just train, I run, and of course, if someone asks me, do you want the world record? I wouldn't say no, of course. That would be stupid. But you got to work for that, and that is what makes it beautiful.
Oui, cette question est posée depuis 2 ans maintenant, assez régulièrement. Et j'ai l'impression que chaque fois qu'on essaie d'y répondre, c'est de la mauvaise chance. On se fait un petit peu peur. Mais c'est évident qu'il y a quelque chose à faire. Sauf que ce record est très haut. Ce record est très fort et très haut placé. Et c'est vrai que la seule chose, même si c'est dans la tête, même chaque fois que j'essaie d'y penser, je me dis non, arrête, ne pense pas à ça. Chaque fois que c'est là, la seule chose qui vient, c'est de se dire oui, bien sûr, ça serait bien. Si vous me dites tu vas le battre, pourquoi pas. Mais c'est de s'entraîner, c'est de vraiment d'essayer encore de progresser parce que il est vraiment très élevé.
You remember very good because I have just forgotten what I said and you're just talking away. Oh, okay. Who paid you? Was it Samba who paid you?
No, Benjamin. I did Decathlon too, so I know maybe a few things and I can remember. But
we have oil money in Norway as well.
Exactly. One more.
It's a bit odd, but what is your most satisfying race ever, and why?
Quelle est ta course la plus satisfaisante et pourquoi?
The best race. My two last races has been really good. I had the one in London where I opened up really hard, and I had some misses at the end, especially the last hurdle. But actually, during the Norwegian Championships, I managed to do 13 steps all the way around. So for me, that was probably a milestone in my career. So I'm very satisfied about that. So I feel like that is probably the one time where my race came together very nicely. But at the same time, I could have opened faster. You know, you have the race in London when I opened really fast. So I think maybe a combination between those races would be my perfect race. But that's not how it works, unfortunately. So I must say probably nationals because I went 13 steps all the way. I was very happy to do that.
Carsten, you somehow became famous 2 years ago with your screaming at the at the finish line.
You are confusing me with someone else.
No, I don't. And everybody was comparing it at the time with the famous Edvard Munch painting. You know it. Do you have the two of them at home? And
yeah, I bought them.
At least, but has it been really important? Because worldwide, I guess that it had a big role in your fame.
For me, winning the World Championships, the best thing about it, to be honest, was proving to myself that this is actually a thing you can do. You know, I'm one of those little guys sitting at home watching track and field and thinking I want to be world champion one day. But often it is a long way, and for me, I was lucky enough to have it when I was 21, and as you could see on my reactions, I was surprised, but it wasn't anything planned, you know, and that is what probably people likes about it, you know. I always try to run with my heart. For me, it's all about performance now. I'm getting very like confidence and comfortable with myself, and it's all about the performance. Whatever I do before the start, what I do when I cross the finish line, I'm getting goosebumps now because I actually believe it myself. It's like, this is fucking true. And it's like, for me, it's all about performance. You know, when I slap my face, when I do this, whatever I do, it's just the feelings that I have when running. It's what running gives me, and you know, I love it. And the scream was also a part of that, but you would probably never see it again because I just moved on and I will do something else. And hopefully one day I'll do something really stupid and I have to quit.